you the nicest. Nobody touched me in a rush. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been. But I wake up and
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shalonda and I am a high school math teacher. Here on my channel, The Square Root of Teaching, I like to discuss what it's like to be an educator post-pandemic. So I've been actually teaching since 2009, but I don't know, the pandemic really opened Pandora's box when it comes to education. And so I just felt that with the news channels always reporting how many teachers are leaving, yes, some of us are still staying, and I just kind of wanted to have, a channel where I can discuss the pros and cons of still teaching in today's climate. And today's video is going to be something lighthearted. I'm actually going to just share with you all the things that I purchased recently for my classroom. Every year, our school district gives us a nice chunk of change to buy school supplies. And I'm going to be honest, at the beginning of the school year, I wasn't in the mindset to really spend the money because I wasn't sure what I needed and what I kind of already had and things of that nature, if that makes sense, because as a department we kind of share materials as well. So I didn't want to purchase something and another teacher was like, oh, you could have borrowed that from me. So I waited until I kind of also had a grasp on my subject. This year was the first time I've taught geometry in about, I think I took a 2-year break from geometry, which isn't a long break, but in those 2 years, the math standards here in the state of Florida have changed. So again, I didn't want to buy anything at the beginning of the school year, and I hadn't really reviewed in depth the new course and the new materials. So we're in January now, and we actually have a deadline to spend that money. I think it's at the beginning of April. So I said now is a good time to spend every single penny. So let's get started on this haul. And almost everything was purchased from Amazon because Amazon is Amazon. All right, so the first thing that I purchased for my high school math class were protractors. So I don't have any in my classroom. Again, I probably could have borrowed them from someone else in my department, but as a geometry teacher, you need your own protractors. So I actually got some, and they're very colorful. If you were to look around my classroom, I'm big into color. I know some teachers here on YouTube, they have like a color scheme, and I don't know, for me, I've always been apprehensive about that because let's say I did I don't know, I can't even think of a theme, but let's say I did, wait, I can't think of one, give me a second. Let's say I did a ladybug theme, hypothetically speaking. And ladybugs are what? Red and black, and maybe we could throw in a little green for the grass or whatever. That would limit me quite a bit when it comes to buying school supplies that match. And then also you gotta think about it. Am I gonna do a ladybug theme every school year? No. So for me, I just like to go for more of a multicolored rainbow-ish look, so that way anytime I see something, it's gonna go with my classroom. All right, so the protractors come in pink. I have them in pink, blue, green, orange, and yellow. So gotta love that. Very pretty. Love them. Okay, so with the protractors, I also decided to pick up some rulers as well. Still not seeing a pink, but they come in these colors. Still nice, still like them. All right, I also picked up some paper clips. The reason why I need paper clips is because every time I take up an assignment from a class, I make sure to immediately use a paper clip to keep them grouped together, so that way when I'm going to grade and then when I'm going to enter grades into the computer, everything is in one place. But again, sometimes I lose paper clips. You know, paper clips do pop off sometimes. So usually I use the silver ones, but I'm hoping that these colorful ones would kind of be more eye-catching for me. And so if they do go flying away, then I can kind of find them and not lose them. Also going with the multicolored theme, I also got a bunch of highlighters. So I do use interactive notebooks in my classroom, and I do use a lot of foldables. And I like for my students to be able to highlight certain keywords or phrases in our foldables that they need to be aware of. And I'm just picking out the colors to see how many different colors do I have. So it looks like we have these colors: blue, yellow, pink, purple, green, and orange. Not sure how great these these highlighters are, so let me just put on this box. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. And again, I will have everything linked below. To reiterate, I am a high school geometry teacher, and I actually purchased these next two items right on time because we're getting ready to start the chapters where we're going into like the actual shapes. We're going to start with parallelograms, but I think the chapter after that will be 3D shapes. I purchased these. They actually have, if I'm not mistaken, there are 10 shapes per color, and there's 4 colors. And so once I start talking about prisms and pyramids and cylinders and all that other stuff, I would like for my students to have something tangible that they can look at. So when I talk about, okay, what's the difference between a square pyramid and what other type of pyramid did they give me? They gave me a triangular pyramid, that they understand that the base is what determines what type of pyramid we're discussing. Also, I want them to be able to understand, for example, when we talk about a rectangular prism and we talk about the different faces, and when I begins talking about lateral area versus surface area, that they understand that lateral area is the same thing as surface area minus the faces. So again, I'm gonna actually be putting these into baggies, so that way each group can have a set of 10. And the baggies that I was discussing were these. I actually just picked up some Ziploc bags. I actually have a pack of 3. Amazon wouldn't let me buy just one of these, so I had to buy 3 boxes of these, and so I guess I'll just have them for next year. Again, at the end, once I get through the kind of the first half of the school year, I like to incorporate more games into my lessons. So one of my favorite type of review activities with my kids is to use bingo. So I purchased these little baggies, and then I purchased some bingo chips. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chips and I'm going to take the baggies, and again, I'll make a set of, I think my largest class is like 28, so I'll probably do 30 baggies of bingo chips, and that way throughout the rest of the school year, whenever I feel that we need a quick review, we can play bingo. All right, so I also purchased some more laminating sheets. So I'm not gonna open this, but basically I have the Amazon Basics laminator. It's about $25, and yes, we do have a laminator in our school's media center, but I'm not the best in terms of like planning that far out. So let's say I want to play a game. It's Monday, it's MLK Day, so we're actually not at school. But let's say I wanted to play a game on Wednesday, and I needed my game board to be laminated and ready to go for Wednesday. I probably would have had to take in all of my things to be laminated to the media center probably like last Tuesday to ensure that I could pick them up tomorrow on Tuesday. And that way I'll have time to like trim them and like, you know what I mean? Like trim off the excess lamination. But again, I'm not that great of planning that far ahead when I need somebody else to do something for me. So it's easier for me to, if I'm gonna make a poster, if I'm gonna create anything that requires me to laminate it, it's easier for me to just do it myself. So that way I can just do it during my planning period. A lot of times I take things home and I laminated them myself. It's just much easier for me to do it on my own than to have to like figure out, okay, how many days does the media specialist need versus when do I really need this to get ready to gear up in my classroom. It's a lot. So yeah, I got these. All right, the last thing I picked up were Exploragons, and I actually made the mistake of like not reading the the description of this product. So this comes with 80 pieces, but it's only enough for 4 students because it only comes with 4 of these. So again, my largest class is 28. So I should have purchased not 1 set of these, but I should have purchased 8 sets of these. So that way, because 4 times 8 is 32. So then I would have one, and then each of my students would have one, and then I'll kind of like, you know, have a few in case someone breaks it or it gets lost or stolen or something like that. But we will not be using these this year, just because I didn't purchase enough and I don't have any more money left over. So that's just it. So there are a few other things that I purchased this school year with the school money, but I don't have it in front of me right now. So I'm just gonna put it here on the screen. One of the first things that I purchased was a new planner. And so you guys, if you follow me on Instagram at the Square Root of Teaching, then you would have seen my reel about my new planner. It is Mickey Mouse theme. It's black and white, but it had a nice little rainbow theme to it as well, which again matches what I usually do with my classroom. With that, I also picked up some post-it notes to I like to plan on post-it notes and then kind of put them in the calendar section of my planner, and that way if something doesn't work out, instead of having to like white out or cross out something, I can just like take the post-it and kind of move it to the next day or the next week if I need to. I also purchased some really nice pens. Again, it's nice to keep my planner color coordinated, and I also like to grade with these. I actually prefer this particular point better than the regular flare pens that most teachers love. So yeah, there's that. All right, guys, so I think that pretty much sums up all the things that I've purchased this school year for my classroom. Now, I know you're thinking this was a little underwhelming, but you have to remember I've been teaching for 14 years now. So I have accumulated quite a bit of things. Some things you just don't have to repurchase year after year. So for example, like I still have like tons of construction paper that I've been having for like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Like one year I really took a big chunk of my teacher money and I bought construction paper. So I'm still good with that. In terms of like copier paper, the school provides us with tons of that, so I never have to purchase that. I'm pretty good on pencils for the school year, but I know next year I'm gonna have to purchase more pencils. I'm good in terms of markers, and there's certain things that we can't purchase with our money. Like we can't purchase any type of tools. So for example, if I needed a new printer or if I needed a new hole puncher, like things of that nature, we're not allowed to buy with our money. It has to be things that are consumable and things that can be used up by students within that school year. But yeah, Thank you so much for stopping by yet again and supporting my channel. Again, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, guys. I try to post there Monday through Friday where I discuss on the square root of teaching. I'm going to put my ad right here. My high and low of each instructional day of teaching. Also, you can find me on my personal lifestyle blog, The Blogger Next Dior. That also has its own YouTube channel, and it has an Instagram profile as well. So I'll link all that in the description box, as well as all the items that I feature here today. If there's anything that you would like to see next on my teaching channel, please leave in the comments below. I kind of have a list of things that I want to discuss, but of course I want to make sure that you guys are interested. So until next time, be easy. Peace.